Hi, my name is Leah Carnahan, and I serve as the Assistant Director for Title IX Advocacy and Education at TCU. I am the Confidential Advocate in the CARE Office, which stands for Campus Advocacy, Resources, and Education. But my primary role within that is to serve as a confidential advocate for students who have experienced sexual assault, dating violence, domestic violence, stalking, and sexual harassment. And so it's a way to support students and also educate students on our campus. Currently for students, we have a couple of different options. Students can request to have a one-on-one advocacy meeting, confidential, with myself. You just email care@tcu.edu and that goes directly to me. And we can schedule a time that if you choose either Zoom or phone meetings, we can do those, and I already have some of those going with students to provide support throughout what their needs may be. We currently have one support group, our Trauma Survivor Support Community. It meets on Thursdays from 4 to 5 p.m. and to respect the privacy and the safety for our students, we are asking that if students would like to join that group, that they email care@tcu.edu and we'll be happy to share the links to join that group. We would love to have students join us for that connection and community for support. We are actually starting a new support community beginning Wednesday, April 15th, which will run from, I believe, 4 to 5 p.m. We'll have a flyer posted on what to do. And the same policy applies as far as emailing to receive the link. And that one is actually going to focus on a different relationship issue that we are also seeing, and that's coping with relationship loss. Some folks have had some experiences of losing a partner or a relationship that meant a lot to them. Some, I think, unexpectedly. And people choosing to end relationships with the separation, and that's been hard for some folks to navigate, as it can be at any point, but when you also have the separation. We're also going to include some links to some national resources with 24-hour hotlines that are specific to both domestic violence and for those that are sexual assault survivors, and so we'll make sure that those links are posted. So if you need support, you have a variety of options to choose from. There are a variety of issues, concerns, difficult feelings regarding relationships. So I've seen I would say 3 different categories. We have some students who may be staying at home or in quarantine or safe space with someone who has been an abuser, whether that be physical, sexual, emotional, and that's a safety concern. And so I do have some suggestions for those students, and those might include having friends to check in with, knowing that list of people who are supportive and understanding, and doing a check-in via FaceTime or Zoom or telephone call just to check in. Having a safe word with those same friends, that if things get really bad and they don't feel safe, they can use that as a trigger and a notice that they need some help. Some other things that I would recommend would be, if it is a more severe safety concern, having that go bag with important papers, medications, change of clothes, things like that, that if they do need to get out of the house, that is there. But even on a day-to-day basis, having an opportunity or creating space for a walk outside if that's available to you. Just that space for yourself, for both your mental and physical well-being. We know that while some students may be in a situation where they're with an abuser, but they also may not be in that situation, but they may have found that their environment is different. TCU may have been that place of support and understanding, whether that be that they're a survivor from assault or domestic violence, or they are struggling with mental health, depression, anxiety, maybe they're in recovery, but they're going back, or they're now in a place that is not supportive of that process of healing and well-being they have. And so really encouraging those students to seek out support and resources, whether it be through the support communities, whether that be one-on-one with a counselor through a counseling center with me for an advocacy support meeting. Those are all resources that are available. But also, if you're that friend and you know that one of your peers was struggling, try to make time just to check in and see how things are going. Check on our fellow frogs and make sure that they are feeling supported, because they may now be in a space where family or other community that they are with are not supportive, and that might be challenging. I think it's important to know that our Title IX processes are continuing. So if a student had a previous experience with one of these issues with another student, that's where Title IX applies. Or if it's a new issue, maybe they are facing some harassment through means that are electronic. Those still policies and processes apply. And the Title IX office is working with students regarding continuing investigations or taking reports, and they are doing that through phone and Zoom and those methods. And also if students have current ongoing investigations, those can continue if they choose, or with everyone's agreement, if there needs to be a pause, they can choose that as well. And they are doing referrals too. I've had some referrals to me from students who are going through that process. So know that your same rights and responsibilities and privileges and also requirements apply, and the same for faculty and staff regarding reporting requirements do apply. The care and the community that they found when they were on campus is still here for them. I have found some really unique experiences meeting even via Zoom with students and having the same types of conversation I would have if they were sitting in front of me in my office. And the same type of feeling and care that students have expressed to each other through our sport community is there. While it may not be face to face, but you can still feel that care and that compassion and support. And it might look a little different, but it's still here for them, and encouraging students to reach out for that support. The other thing that I think is important to acknowledge, and this has been, I will say, a challenge for me, is that April is Sexual Assault Awareness Month. It's a big month that we do a lot of education and outreach, and missing out on some great opportunities that we had planned for students to learn and grow and be able to advocate for themselves or for their peers or tell their stories. And so I encourage students to follow our social media, and those links will be listed below. We're trying to post every day. We have self-care Sundays, resource Saturdays, and just a mix of different things throughout the week, whether that be statistics or profiles on things that are happening on campus or in our community, and encouraging students to engage a little bit differently, but still engage. We'll have some opportunities for students to do some learning through an online module if they so choose as an optional activity. And we're also encouraging students to do a virtual 5K or 1K benefiting the Women's Center of Tarrant County. So please check that out and find ways to engage and support survivors during this time, even though you may not be in the same community with them, but you can still show your support. I just want to thank the TCU community for the support they have shown survivors over the years, and encourage you to continue to show that support wherever you may be. If you are needing extra support or have a question or concern, know that you can always email care@tcu.edu, and that will go directly to me, and I'll be happy to help in any way that I can, just as I would if we were here together. Thank you.